Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling guilty, confused, or like you just agreed to something you didn't want to do, but you can't quite figure out why? Here's the disturbing truth. Someone close to you, maybe a friend, a coworker, or even a family member, is manipulating you right now. And the scariest part? They probably don't even realize they're doing it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal 7 psychological manipulation tactics that are being used on you every single day. By the end of this video, you'll never look at your conversations the same way again. Let's dive into the shadows of human behavior. Welcome back to the channel. Before we begin, I need you to understand something crucial. Manipulation isn't always intentional. We often think of manipulators as calculated villains twisting people like puppets. But the reality is far more unsettling. Most people who manipulate others learned these behaviors as survival mechanisms in childhood. They picked up patterns from their parents, their environment, their past relationships. These tactics became so deeply ingrained in their personality that they use them automatically, without conscious thought. That's what makes them so dangerous. You see, when someone deliberately tries to control you, there's a chance you'll spot it. Your instincts kick in. Your guard goes up. But when someone manipulates you unconsciously, using tactics they don't even know they are employing, that's when you are truly vulnerable. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on these hidden psychological games. I'll show you exactly how they work, why they are so effective, and most importantly, how to protect yourself. Because knowledge is power, and awareness is your shield. Let's begin. Tactic 1. The guilt loop. Imagine this scenario. You've been working overtime all week. You are exhausted. Friday night finally arrives, and you are looking forward to a quiet evening at home. Then your phone buzzes. It's your friend Sarah. Hey, we are all going out tonight. You are coming, right? You text back, I'm really tired. Think I'll stay in. 3 dots appear. Then, oh, okay. I guess we'll just celebrate without you. It's fine. I mean, it's only my promotion, but no worries. Have a good night. Feel that? That sinking sensation in your stomach? That's the guilt loop, and you just got caught in it. Here's how it works. The manipulator, and remember, Sarah probably doesn't realize she's doing this, makes a request that seems reasonable. When you decline, they respond with a statement that's technically accepting your decision, but it's layered with emotional shrapnel. Words like, I guess, it's fine, and only my promotion aren't accidents. They're guilt grenades. The brilliant thing about this tactic is its deniability. If you call them out, they'll say, what? I said it was fine. But the subtext screams disappointment and judgment. They've planted a seed of guilt in your mind, and now it's growing. The guilt loop thrives on your empathy. Good people, people who care about others, are most vulnerable to this manipulation. Your brain starts racing. Am I being selfish? Maybe I should go. What if she really needs me there? What kind of friend am I? Before you know it, you are getting dressed to go out, even though every fiber of your being wanted to stay home. You've been manipulated, and the person who did it might genuinely believe you made the choice yourself. But here's what's really happening beneath the surface. The guilt loop is a learned behavior. Sarah probably grew up in an environment where expressing needs directly was discouraged or punished. Maybe her parents used guilt to control her behavior. So she learned that the way to get what you want is to make people feel bad for not giving it to you. She's not a villain. She's just repeating a pattern. The danger is that this tactic erodes healthy boundaries. Over time, you stop saying no altogether because you've learned that your no comes with an emotional price tag. You start making decisions based not on what you want, but on what will make others stop making you feel guilty. That's not friendship. That's emotional extortion dressed up as connection. Tactic 2. Reality reshaping. Let me tell you about Marcus and his girlfriend, Jenny. One evening, Marcus mentioned to Jenny that he felt hurt when she cancelled their date last minute to hang out with her ex-boyfriend. It was a vulnerable admission. He chose his words carefully. Jenny's response? That never happened. We didn't have plans that day. Marcus felt his confidence crack. No, we did. You texted me in the afternoon saying you couldn't make it. Marcus, I think you are confused. You are probably thinking of a different day. You've been so stressed lately, maybe you are mixing things up? This is reality reshaping, and it's one of the most insidious forms of unconscious manipulation because it makes you doubt your own mind. Unlike gaslighting, which is typically intentional and malicious. Reality reshaping often comes from people who genuinely believe their version of events. Their memory has quietly rewritten history to protect their self-image. They are not thinking, "I'm going to lie to confuse him." They are thinking, "That's not how I remember it, so that must not be how it happened." The human brain is a storyteller, not a recorder. We remember events through the lens of our emotions, our biases, our needs. Someone who can't handle being wrong will unconsciously reshape their memories to preserve their sense of self. When someone uses this tactic on you repeatedly, something devastating happens. You start trusting their version of reality more than your own. You begin second-guessing your perceptions, your memories, your judgment. Maybe I am confused. Maybe I did misunderstand. This is especially common in relationships where there's an imbalance of confidence. If one person naturally presents as more certain, more authoritative, the other person will often defer to their version of events, even when their own memory screams otherwise. Here's the dark truth: reality reshaping is often a trauma response. People who grew up in chaotic or abusive environments, where facts were constantly twisted, sometimes adopt this same behavior as adults. They are not trying to drive you crazy. They are trying to maintain control in a world that once felt dangerously unpredictable to them. But regardless of the origin, the effect on you is the same. Your sense of reality becomes negotiable. You lose the ability to trust your own experiences. And once that happens, you are vulnerable to all sorts of manipulation because you no longer have a stable foundation to stand on. Your perception isn't always perfect, but it's yours. Defend it. Tactic 3. The victim pivot. Picture this: you've gathered the courage to tell your roommate that their loud music at 2 a.m. is keeping you awake. You've rehearsed what to say. You are calm, reasonable. "Hey, I need to talk to you about something. The late-night music has been making it hard for me to sleep. Could you maybe use headphones after midnight?" Your roommate's face falls. Their eyes get glossy. "Wow, I can't believe you are saying this. You know how hard things have been for me lately. Music is literally the only thing keeping me sane right now. But sure, I'll just suffer in silence if that's what you need." And just like that, you're the bad guy. This is the victim pivot, and it's devastatingly effective because it weaponizes compassion. You came to the conversation with a legitimate problem. You left feeling like you just kicked a puppy. Here's the mechanism. Instead of addressing your concern, the manipulator immediately redirects focus to their own suffering. They are not thinking, "How can I deflect blame?" They genuinely feel attacked. In their mind, your reasonable boundary feels like a personal assault, and they respond by becoming the injured party. This tactic is particularly common in people with low self-esteem or anxiety. Any criticism, no matter how gently delivered, triggers a deep fear. "I'm a bad person. I'm not good enough. Everyone's going to leave me." So they defensively flip the script. If they can make themselves the victim, they don't have to face the uncomfortable reality of their own behavior. What makes the victim pivot so hard to navigate is that their suffering might be real. They might genuinely be going through a difficult time. Their pain isn't necessarily manufactured. But they've learned to use that pain as a shield against accountability. You end up in an impossible position. Do you insist on your boundary and risk being seen as cruel? Or do you back down and continue to suffer in silence? The victim pivot trains you to stop bringing up problems. You learn that the emotional cost of addressing an issue is higher than the cost of just dealing with it yourself. Your needs become negotiable. Their feelings become non-negotiable. Over time, the relationship becomes profoundly unbalanced. One person's emotional state dominates every interaction. The other person shrinks, becomes careful, walks on eggshells. And the manipulator? They might not realize they are doing it at all. They just know that when they express hurt, people back off. So they keep doing it. Tactic 4. Strategic incompetence. Let me introduce you to Dave. Dave lives with 3 roommates. Somehow, mysteriously, Dave never quite manages to do the dishes correctly. He leaves food on the plates. Uses the wrong soap. Doesn't dry them properly. Every time he attempts this incredibly complex task, someone else has to redo it. Eventually, his roommates stop asking him to do dishes. "It's just easier if we do it ourselves," they say. Dave has mastered strategic incompetence. Now, here's the critical question. Is Dave deliberately sabotaging the dishes to avoid the chore? Or does he genuinely not care enough to learn to do it properly? The answer is often both and neither. Strategic incompetence exists in a murky space between intention and unconscious avoidance. Dave might not be sitting in his room thinking, "I'll do this badly so they stop asking." But on some level, he's learned that incompetence gets him out of responsibilities. This pattern usually starts young. Maybe Dave's parents always redid his chores because they wanted them done right. He learned that half-hearted effort leads to someone else taking over. That lesson stuck. This manipulation tactic is everywhere. The partner who can't figure out how to use the washing machine, the coworker who doesn't understand the filing system, the friend who always forgets to bring their wallet. The damage it causes is subtle but cumulative. The people around the strategically incompetent person gradually take on more and more responsibilities. They become exhausted, resentful. Meanwhile, the manipulator maintains plausible deniability. "I'm trying. I'm just not good at this." Here's what makes it particularly hard to address. Sometimes the incompetence is genuine. Some people really do struggle with certain tasks. The difference is in the pattern. Does the person show genuine effort to improve? Do they take initiative to learn? Or do they remain consistently helpless in ways that conveniently benefit them? Strategic incompetence is manipulation through learned helplessness. And the person doing it might genuinely feel incapable, even when they are perfectly capable of learning if the consequences were different. Tactic 5. Affection withdrawal. This one hits different because it's so quiet, so subtle, that you might not notice it until the damage is done. Sarah and Tom have been dating for 2 years. They have a disagreement about where to spend the holidays. Sarah wants to visit her family. Tom wants to stay home. They don't yell. They don't fight. Tom just says, "Fine, we'll do what you want." But then something shifts. Tom becomes distant. He's physically present but emotionally absent. His texts get shorter. He doesn't kiss her goodbye. He stops asking about her day. The warmth that usually exists between them has vanished, replaced by a cold politeness. Sarah feels it immediately. That gnawing anxiety. What did I do wrong? Is he angry? Should I apologize? Within 2 days, she tells him they can stay home for the holidays. Suddenly, Tom is warm again. The affection returns. He's smiling, engaged, present. And if Sarah asked him, "Were you punishing me?" he'd probably be genuinely confused. "No, I was just giving you space to make your decision." This is affection withdrawal, and it's emotional manipulation at its most subtle. Here's how it works. Instead of communicating displeasure with words, the manipulator communicates it through absence. They don't have to say, "I'm upset with you." Their coldness says it for them. And because there's no explicit statement, there's nothing you can directly address. You are fighting a ghost. Affection withdrawal is particularly powerful because humans are wired for connection. We need warmth, approval, belonging. When someone we care about suddenly becomes cold, our nervous system interprets it as a threat. We become desperate to restore the connection, often by changing our behavior to please them. People who use this tactic typically learned it in childhood. Maybe they had a parent who gave them the silent treatment when they misbehaved. They learned that expressing anger directly was dangerous or ineffective, but withdrawing love was powerful. As adults, they repeat the pattern without realizing it. They are not thinking, "I'll withhold affection to control them." They are feeling hurt or angry, and they naturally retreat. It's automatic. But the effect is the same. The other person learns that maintaining the relationship requires constant vigilance, constant adjustment to avoid the coldness. They stop expressing their true preferences. They become smaller, more compliant, always scanning for signs of withdrawal. This isn't love. This is emotional hostage-taking. Healthy relationships involve consistent affection, even during disagreements. If someone's warmth is conditional on your compliance, that's not intimacy. That's control. Tactic 6. The Savior Complex Trap. Let me tell you about Lisa. Lisa is everyone's favorite person. She's always there when you need her. Car broke down at midnight? Lisa will pick you up. Having a crisis? Lisa will drop everything to listen. She's generous, selfless, endlessly giving. You feel lucky to have her in your life. But here's what you don't notice at first. Lisa needs you to need her. 6 months into the friendship, you mention you've been handling your problems better lately. You found a good therapist. You are feeling more stable. You expect Lisa to be happy for you. Instead, she seems deflated, distant. A week later, she calls with a crisis of her own. You rush to help. the warmth returns. This is the savior complex trap, and it's one of the most confusing forms of manipulation because it looks like love. People with a savior complex unconsciously seek out relationships with people who need rescuing. They derive their sense of worth from being needed. When you are struggling, they are energized, purposeful, engaged. When you are thriving independently, they feel obsolete. So, unconsciously, they create situations that keep you dependent. They might offer help you didn't ask for, then remind you later how much they sacrificed. They might give advice that keeps you stuck rather than empowering you to move forward. They might subtly undermine your confidence, so you keep turning to them for validation. Here's the heartbreaking truth. These people genuinely believe they are being helpful. They are not rubbing their hands together thinking, how can I keep this person dependent on me? They've built their entire identity around being the helper, the fixer, the strong one. The problem is that there need to be needed conflicts with your need to grow. Real support helps you become more capable, more independent. It's about empowerment. But the savior complex trap keeps you in a state of perpetual crisis, because that's where the manipulator feels most comfortable, most valuable, most loved. This dynamic often emerges from childhood trauma. Maybe they grew up in a chaotic household where the only way to receive love was to be useful. Maybe they learned that their value was conditional on what they could do for others. That wound never healed, and now they are unconsciously repeating the pattern. The people caught in this trap sacrifice endlessly, but they are actually taking something crucial from you, your autonomy. They are wrapping chains around you and calling it care. If someone in your life seems uncomfortable with your success, your independence, your growth, that's a red flag. Love celebrates your wings. Manipulation clips them. Tactic 7. Manufactured urgency. I need an answer right now. If you can't commit today, I'll have to ask someone else. This opportunity won't last. You have to decide immediately. We need to talk. Now. This can't wait. This is manufactured urgency, and it's a manipulation tactic that strips away your ability to make thoughtful decisions. Here's the psychology. When people feel pressured by time, their decision-making changes. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thought, gets bypassed. Your amygdala, the fear center, takes over. You move into fight-or-flight mode, where the goal isn't to make the best decision but to escape the discomfort of the pressure. Manipulators who use this tactic, often unconsciously, create artificial deadlines or crises that force you to act before you've had time to think clearly. Why do people do this? Usually because they fear that if you have time to think, you'll say no. They are operating from their own anxiety, their own desperation. They are not thinking, I'll pressure them into a bad decision. They are thinking, I need this resolved right now because I can't handle the uncertainty. But the effect on you is manipulation nonetheless. Think about the major decisions you've regretted in your life. How many of them were made under artificial time pressure? How many times did someone tell you, it's now or never, only for you to discover later that it could have easily waited? Manufactured urgency short-circuits your judgment. It forces you to act on emotion rather than reason. And people who consistently use this tactic are unconsciously controlling your choices by controlling the conditions under which you make them. Real urgency exists, of course. Medical emergencies, actual deadlines, true crisis. But manufactured urgency feels different. It's vague. It's emotional. It can't withstand scrutiny. When you ask, why exactly does this have to be decided right now, there's rarely a good answer. A genuine friend or partner respects your need for time to think. They understand that important decisions deserve careful consideration. If someone consistently pressures you to decide immediately, ask yourself, are they respecting me or controlling me? We are. 7 manipulation tactics that people use every single day without realizing it. The guilt loop, reality reshaping, the victim pivot, strategic incompetence, affection withdrawal, the savior complex trap, manufactured urgency. If you recognized any of these patterns in your own life, take a breath. That recognition is the first step toward change. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth I need you to hear. You probably use some of these tactics too. That's not an accusation. It's an invitation to self-awareness. We all learned manipulation strategies growing up. We all have patterns we are unconscious of. The goal isn't to become paranoid, seeing manipulation in every interaction. The goal is to become aware of others' patterns and your own. When you spot these tactics in others, you can set boundaries with compassion. You can recognize that their manipulation is often a symptom of their own pain, their own learned behaviors. You can protect yourself without demonizing them. And when you spot these tactics in yourself, you can choose differently. You can learn to express your needs directly instead of through guilt. You can take accountability instead of pivoting to victimhood. You can give genuine effort instead of strategic incompetence. This is the work of becoming a healthier, more conscious human being. The people who manipulate unconsciously aren't villains. They are wounded. They are scared. They are repeating patterns they learned long ago in an attempt to get their needs met. But you don't have to participate in those patterns anymore. You can choose awareness. You can choose boundaries. You can choose growth. That's the power of understanding dark psychology. Not to judge, but to illuminate. Not to condemn, but to transform. If this video opened your eyes to patterns you didn't see before, do me a favor, hit that like button. It tells YouTube to share this with more people who need to hear it. And subscribe to this channel, because we are going deep into the psychology of human behavior, the good, the bad, and the unconscious. Every week, I break down the hidden dynamics that shape our relationships, our decisions, and our lives. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these 7 tactics have you experienced? Or, and I respect this even more, which ones have you caught yourself using? Let's build awareness together. Remember, the shadows only have power when we are not looking at them. Shine light on the patterns, and you take back your power. I'll see you in the next video. Stay aware.